Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Yankee Stadium.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back. Obviously, last night completely sucked for the Yankees. Beat down by 10 runs against the worst team in Major League Baseball. The only team that has lost to the White Sox by a margin of 10 runs this season. And unfortunately, tonight, we don't even have the pitching advantage. Nestor Cortes on the mound. He is 5-10 with a 4.42 ERA on the season against Jonathan Cannon, who has a 3.91 ERA for the White Sox. So hopefully last night was a wake-up call for the Yankees that you can't just cruise through and expect to win against any Major League Baseball team, because every team is capable of beating you on any given night. And last night, the Yankees just looked pitiful. They left so many men on base. They couldn't get anybody out in the bullpen. And it really just exacerbated a lot of the fears that we have about this team going into the playoffs. Who's going to get those crucial outs with a narrow lead? You know, who's going to pick up the big hits with runners in scoring position? Who's going to protect Judge when you walk him to load the bases? Giancarlo Stanton last night faced that situation, struck out. Now, nobody's going to come through every single time. I get that, but it's just frustrating. And I woke up this morning still frustrated from a tough loss last night, but I hope you guys enjoyed the debut of Pinstripe Territory. It's something I've been working on behind the scenes for a bit, and I'm still working on a few things, trying to get all the functionality back from the previous layout. So over time, we should have everything, and we're going to introduce some more things. We introduced some new sounds last night. So stay tuned. Lots of great stuff to come. Let's get to some of your voicemails before we begin our dread about losing a potential series to the White Sox.
I live in New York City! I cannot believe you had the balls to do it!
Hey, Derek, it's a Say situation. So I really like the new name, and congratulations on, well, I don't want to say newfound because you've been part of that organization, but I guess one description's pertinent to what you're doing. It's professional. So I think that you guys rise above what else is out there right now. So I think that's awesome. So to the Yankees, kind of reminds me of what I think of Gleyber Torres sometimes. Gleyber makes these outstanding plays, and then he gets some home runs once in a while. But then he makes these crazy, crappy plays that you shake your head, and he reminds you why you don't like them or why you feel like shouldn't be in MLB baseball. Kind of like I feel about the Yankees today. I know they're 20 games above 500, but man, when you lose to a team like that just kind of reminds you of the flaws of this team.
I know exactly what you mean with the Gleyber Torres comparison. There's a little bit of Jekyll and Hyde to this team, and it goes month to month. It goes day to day. They could look red hot for a month and just destroy everyone in their path. They could sweep a team like the Phillies and then lose to a team like the White Sox. And would anyone be shocked if the Yankees lost 3 in a row to the White Sox? I don't think so. This Yankees team is capable of playing down to their competition at that level, at a level that a lot of teams aren't. It's like they take the day off mentally when they're playing some of these teams that they feel they should beat just because they have bigger names on their roster. And last night was the perfect example of that. They didn't get the big hit. They didn't make the big pitch. You had guys popping up bunts. You just had a lot of ugly baseball last night from the Yankees. And the sense that I'm getting on social media and in the comments is that people are extremely frustrated. And I don't blame you. I'm frustrated too. But hopefully we can come back out and get 2 wins in a row and take this series. Because if we lose a series to the White Sox, I tell you what, people are going to be ticked off.
Good morning, Derek. Joe from Jersey. I've always had a theory on why the Yankees lose to bad teams. And my theory is, look, the White Sox have nothing to lose. I think they always step it up, teams step it up, because they want to beat the Yankees. And think about how many Yankee fans are in their home stadium cheering for the Yankees. So they want to, give it back to them. I think teams play better when they play the Yankees.
I get it. Nobody wants to be booed in their home ballpark by fans of an opposing team, and that happens every time the Yankees go on the road. But the Yankees have to maintain that tenacity. They have to maintain that winning spirit and play hard no matter what, no matter how bad the opposition wants to beat you. The Yankees are a better team than the White Sox. They got no business losing to a team that entered play 63 games under 500. Not if they want to be considered serious contenders. Now, they say that momentum is as strong as the next day's starting pitcher and so forth. Luis Gil didn't have it last night. I thought maybe Aaron Boone should have gone to the bullpen a little bit sooner, but the bullpen is worn out, so you couldn't really do that. And then when you went to the pen, they got creamed. So it was really just the perfect storm. What we need tonight is Nestor Cortes to throw 7 or 8 really good innings. And I won't put it past him because the White Sox are the type of team that he could beat with his funky motion and so forth. I don't think Nestor Cortes is going to get clobbered tonight. But what we can't have happen is for him to go 3 or 4 innings and really force us to expend that bullpen even more. And the Yankees offense has got to come out and set the tone early. If you load the bases, you got to get the big hit. You can't be going for the grand slam. Just tack on runs. If you put up a 3 or 4 or 5 run lead, you're going to break this team's back because they're used to losing. So the Yankees have got to approach it in a way like it's a must-win. No matter who they're playing, no matter how bad their competition, they've got to approach it as a must-win. We're in the final stretch here now. We got about 40 games left, and this team is in position to not only win the division, but to win home field advantage in the American League. Now, maybe they don't want it because they've played so poorly at home. I don't know. And maybe that's why they're not taking these games as seriously. But that's certainly what it appeared like last night, that they didn't take the White Sox seriously, and the White Sox thumped them.
Hey, Derek, Trucker Tim here, currently in Ohio. Hey, what I noticed last night was the Yankees were really great at working the count, getting him in full counts, churning out walks, and then as soon as they got him on the ropes, they swing early in the count. Stanton going after the first pitch and popping it up. Right when they had this guy on the ropes, they bailed him out with stupid at-bats.
You're not wrong, and that's what I mean about when you load the bases or when you get the opposing pitcher in hot water to take what he gives you. You don't need to hit a grand slam. You hit one in the gap, a line drive up the middle, a rope down the line, you're going to score a couple of runs. They're going to throw the ball all over the field. We saw that. They're going to give you opportunities. They're going to walk people. And the Yankees got into that home run mentality where they got guys on base and everybody wants to be the guy who hits the grand slam.
Hey, Derek, Alex from Atlanta. I don't know if you saw the Verdugo quote yet, but just to very quickly sum it up, when talked about the awful bunt he tried to do, he basically said he got lazy with it. This is just another typical Aaron Boone Aaron Boone era-led team. The fact that a big league player said he got lazy is just unacceptable. They're a 70-win team, but they might as well be as good as the White Sox. This team isn't going anywhere in the playoffs. They're not a World Series team. They're a bunch of losers.
Well, tell us how you really feel. When he talks about being lazy, I don't think that he meant it in the colloquial way that we mean lazy, where you loaf or whatever. I think he was referring to the bat head, right? You can get what's called lazy with the bat head, where you drop the bat head lower than your hands, right? And that causes you to pop up bunts. So I think he was actually speaking in hitting mechanical terms rather than just his overall gameplay. Look, he was diving for balls all night last night. I think he was actually playing pretty hard, just didn't have a good night. But yeah, I don't think that quote really means what most people are going to read it to mean.
Greetings, Derek. This is Kevin from Prague, Czech Republic. And I'm just calling to just sort of add on to your comment last night about why is it that this organization can't bring up those arms from AAA. They have 13 pitchers down in Scranton. What's the deal? And I think it's time that people take a look at Nat Blake and his bullpen experiment with a really objective lens, because we've seen this year in, year out. He brings in guys who are not very good, teaches them a new pitch. It works for a few months. The rest of the league catches up to them. These pitchers collapse by July and August. And what happened last night, disappointing as it was, should not have been a surprise.
I think Matt Blake has his strengths and his weaknesses, but overall I think the organization has not been great at developing players, especially pitching. And I think it's continuing to bite them in the ass right now. I would love it if they had a stable full of young arms like the Rays always seem to have. You know, recent years, the Rays have kind of fallen off a little bit. They've had some issues with their organization. But, you know, why aren't we doing a better job of developing what we need in the bullpen instead of having to go out and trade for guys every year and having to trade away prospects? I think that the player development within this Yankees organization needs to come under a microscope. And hopefully this audit that's going on really takes a good hard look at that.
Derek, sports rabbi, Josh Halleckman calling from the Holy Land. Congratulations on the new improved show. That, of course, was the highlight of yesterday. Because after sitting through the Yankees game, that well was one of the most disastrous, disgusting, atrocious performances that we've seen all season long, if not the most. They were pathetic. Not only were they pathetic, you could see it coming because after the first couple of innings, when they left one player after the next, after the next, after the next on base and they couldn't get the runners home, you knew that they were going to be in trouble. And then we saw everything absolutely implode.
Unfortunately, we've seen the same story way too many times this year, and we've gotten used to it. But today is a new day, and hopefully we can turn it around. Thanks for all your calls, all your voicemails. Thanks for watching, tuning in. Hello to all the new subscribers, all that good stuff. And we'll see you after tonight's game. Thanks for watching. And here comes the Nostra Derek pick. Well, we have not had a lot of luck with the Nostra Derek picks as of late. This team has been too hard to predict because they're all over the place, kind of like Luis Gil last night. But I'm predicting 2 hits for Juan Soto in tonight's game. I think he's been swinging the bat a little bit better. Last night he was a little bit anxious, but I think he's going to come through this evening.
Ball game over.
If you enjoyed this video, please drop a like and give us a subscribe. It helps other Yankees fans find the channel. We're also on all your favorite podcast platforms and social media. Join the community, have some fun. We're here after every game. This is Pinstripe Territory.